Hi, so this is my last video in a project that we did on tone-based violin, playing through a collection of the Russian pedagogue Adzhemova, and I mean individually, each of us choosing our own our own journey, and the idea was, as I understand it now, to identify the strokes of a particular étude and then practice that, but not like in a robotic way to make it perfect in any sense, but in a sense where it is flexible and one can adapt it so that it can be used to bring out the musical message of the étude itself. So in this case, number 10, these strokes are détaché and slurs, slurs of 3, and I'm choosing to play the détaché in a way that is kind of, I mean, the image is that of a bell where the sound starts and then it lingers, and it doesn't have like a sharp articulation like one of my associates with martelé. So it's not like this, but it's more like. And the challenge is to have, while it really sounds strongly, to have the bow move quickly and then kind of get into this tapering or hovering phase without too much of a transition period. So it is either on or off with a very like steep transition in between, which is of course challenging because the tendency is to kind of soften it and even it out. And so it should still sound like beautiful in the sense that it is kind of a strong sound, like a bell really, that doesn't have like a harsh edge to it. And then this can be modified to bring out the crescendos and decrescendos and maybe different kind of flavors of the music. It can, the stroke can become like more even and with a smaller like tapering phase or hovering phase, so it's more like a détaché really, or it can also become longer, particularly when it's a détaché, so one can create a crescendo line, and it can also become shorter with still this high energy, and that would be like for a piano stroke that is more like electrical perhaps. Yeah, and then the slurs, okay, the usual points applied, should be even, well connected on both ends, and also that can be varied, so I'm playing it with rather full bow, not with a complete bow, but like 3/4 or something, but then I can, at the end, I intend to make it a little bit more dense, and then even darker, and that means that I'm slowing the bow down and bringing it closer to the bridge eventually. Yeah, so at least, I mean, these are all my intentions, and in a way, like hypotheses, if that is really how I want to, or how I can achieve the effects that I want to achieve. Okay, so then the final thing is use of vibrato. That's still very much a work in progress, but ideally I would like to have vibrato on every note, on the so-called détaché notes that can be more like an impulse that tapers off together with the stroke, and in the legato lines, of course, it should be continuous. And it doesn't have to be really dramatic. It can be like easy in the sense of middle speed, middle width, but it should be there in an ideal world. So since this is work in progress and this is not really the point of me practicing vibrato with this in a sense of finishing that, I'm just applying it as good as I can, and that is that for this etude. Okay, so let me see how this goes. Okay, so I mean it's marked moderato, that was maybe at most an andante. So I think it was a little bit too slow, and therefore also maybe a little bit too careful. So I'm just doing it again for fun, a little bit faster, and maybe also bring more variety into these quasi martelé strokes. I didn't really start that faster, did I? So I seem to have this inbuilt idea of tempo now. So let's try again. Okay, so I think I was losing my pulse a little bit, but it was like more varied and I think also more interesting. So I think that's a fair enough point to close up this project with this particular étude. Okay, thank you for listening. Talk to you soon.